Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is finally Friday, June 27th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is an actor, writer, and producer. And he's been on the show previously, and he's back today for his second interview. Please welcome back to the Dollhouse Fashion Dolls, Kip Tribble. Let me go ahead and share this live with him. Baby, the heat wave is out. It is officially summer. You know it's officially summer when that heat wave is out. I hope y'all enjoyed my interview with Nelson that I did yesterday. We had such a great time. I am feeling the heat. Are y'all feeling the heat? What? It is officially summertime, and I hope y'all all are doing as awesome as I am. Shout outs to my colleague Alvin Tit for Tat. Shout outs to my amazing makeup artist and glam squad, Melanie Nell and my Bridges, for making sure that we are right each and every episode. Like, get into the beat, get into it. I'm glowing all over, like y'all can tell. So definitely, while I'm waiting on my very special guest to get here, I need y'all to go and stream 3Play, which is out on reveal.net. Make sure y'all go and check it out because it is too hot for Tubi. Y'all need to go and support Nelson. Make sure that y'all are going and supporting black filmmakers more than ever. So here's what we know. Here's what we know so far. My God. The Supreme Court just made a major ruling giving him another win. And we now know that we are under an autocracy. Yeah. And we'll talk about that probably a little bit later on my colleagues' panel. But without further ado, let's welcome our very special guest back to the Dollhouse, Kip Tribble. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing fabulous. Yourself. It is so great to have.
Doing well today, and glad to be here.
Yes, happy Friday. So before
Yeah.
we get into our interview, I'd be remiss if I didn't. Well, I did already, but happy birthday again. How did you celebrate your birthday? And of
So,
course, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, it was just a pretty simple day with the wife and kids, and just went out to dinner, hung out, watched a movie. I like to keep it kind of simple, especially as I get up here and up in years here. But yeah, it was fun.
I'm so glad you had a great time. Did they
Thank you.
do anything special for you? Did they surprise you? Any surprise parties? Anything?
No surprise parties this year. I'm trying to think of what surprise gifts they may have gotten me. I'm more into now, instead of like getting, physical gifts, I like kind of events, going and hanging out, doing stuff, and just making memories. Those sort of things are more important to me than, having something physical now. So yeah, that's usually what I request on birthdays and even, Father's Day, Christmas, that kind of stuff.
Yes. And how did you spend your Father's Day? How did you celebrate?
Father's Day was great. So they made a whole weekend out of it. We took a hike. We went and watched Mission Impossible. They took me for a few rounds of bowling, which is something we hadn't done in years as a family. So yeah, it was really nice. Nice laid back day. Weekend,
Yes.
actually, whole weekend.
Yes. And this for my brother would be his first Father's Day. My nephew,
Awesome.
my 2-year-old nephew. So he just relaxed. The same for my dad as well. So they just relaxed, sat back,
Yeah,
watched television. They couldn't ask me anything more. And then we
that's the way to
got
do
my
it.
father a card. So very
Awesome.
simple.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah.
Yes. So it is also, June is also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So
Hmm.
Kip, I've been all my lineup this week has all been men. There have been no women except for myself in
Okay.
hosting the platform. But
Yeah.
for you, what are some tips that you would recommend that men do as it pertains to mental health and protecting their peace and finding
Yeah.
their place in space?
You know, that's it's a really great question and important thing to bring up. I was raised, I think we discussed before, in the South, and it's not the South in particular is not a place that you're encouraged to talk about your mental health always. And in fact, it's usually the opposite. Make sure you keep everything buttoned up and pressed down. So it took me many years to even start to realize that I should be start paying attention to that. And it was after I had children and starting. It's funny. Yeah, used to be somebody who, if I started feeling emotion in a movie, I would press it down. But then as soon as I had kids, it just started coming out. So all
Yeah.
these new emotions started coming out, and I started thinking about, well, what is this, and why has this been something I've always pushed back against? And as far as like and so it's taken me basically a few years to really like work on that and express myself and let those feelings out and um, even to the extent of telling others how you feel about them, even though you want to. It's something that growing up in the environment that I did, it's not something that you ever really did or expressed. And so the tips now is I try to take a few minutes every morning, whether that's 15 to 20 minutes, aside from reading a few pages from whatever book I'm reading, but
Mm.
also to take time to meditate with whatever meditation you can do, even if that is just sitting quietly for 5 to 10 minutes. I think it's I saw a video recently. Denzel Washington was talking about the first thing you should do when you wake up is don't touch anything, don't do anything, just sit in silence for 5 minutes
Mm.
and clear your mind in that space. And I think that is wonderful advice, and that's something that I've been in particular trying to practice almost the last year. And it just kind of it sets the tone for the day. It starts your day off in a nice headspace as opposed to immediately grabbing your phone. Let me see who these 30 different texts are from. Let me check Instagram. Let me check all the social medias. Let me check the news. Then suddenly, before you even get out of bed, you're bombarded with all of this generally negativity. And I found that I was buying into that, and I also I took the notifications off my phone because I realized too that every time my phone went off, whether it be a text for work or just somebody saying hi or whatever, I was having a physical reaction to it. It was like, oh, I gotta I gotta grab this. I gotta see who this is. I gotta respond right away. I gotta do something. And there was never a relaxation point. So I took that away. I'm taking time for myself in the morning. Um, and I added cold showers to the routine in the morning. Those sort of things really has changed my mental state in the past year. um, those are just little things that I do, but also just whoever's closest to you being able to just, as hard as it may be, just open up and talk about what you're feeling, talk about something that's difficult, and then also definitely tell those that are close to you what they mean to you. Especially for men, it's really hard for them to do that. But it's been a wonderful experience in doing that, the past year or so.
And when you said take a few minutes to yourself, my guest that I had on yesterday, my good friend and colleague Nelson J. Davis, was saying the same exact thing. Do not let anything distract you. And if you have to unplug, unplug. He was saying the same thing as it pertains to technology. Your
Hmm.
notifications are going off first thing in the morning. So first thing I do in the morning is I pray, and then I also do my affirmations. I can't start the day without having those two things. It's like you have to
Yeah.
have a cup of coffee in the morning. Those are the
Hmm.
two things that get me through the day is an affirmation and a conversation with God. And that would be
Yeah.
some advice from the woman's standpoint that I would give
Sure.
to men that watch my platform as well, because it is key and crucial that we
Hmm.
all open up. And therapy is for everyone. So there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with normalizing that. We have to normalize it because when you keep your emotions bottled up inside and everybody's heard this analogy before where you shake a soda up and then you unscrew the top and it explodes everywhere. At a
Sure.
certain period of time, you feel things building up inside of you. You have to talk to somebody, and
Hmm.
that's why the resources are there. So it's amazing to see more and
Yeah.
more men each day opened up and be vulnerable. And they're sharing it on social media. I mean, TikTok, they're being open and vulnerable, saying, hey, I don't feel like this today. They're doing it in podcasts, they're doing it in
Hmm.
so many different ways. As long as you're getting the message out there to people that, okay, men too go through this. Women is key and critical for us to talk about this. It's normal for us because we come from an emotional and vulnerable place. But for
Hmm.
men, it's been shunned in any
Yeah,
outlet. You know, you don't want people to look at you crazy. You don't want people to think this about you. No, going to therapy is completely normal, and there's nothing
100%.
wrong with talking to someone. And what I'm seeing now also is more and more people use their gratitude journals. And in the year 2025, that has been a thing that has been trending. People have been talking about it, getting a gratitude journal. And this morning, because I always do devotions as well too, one of the Bible scriptures, and I cannot remember which one it was, but it was saying, write down at least 5 things that you are thankful for. And right off the bat, once I get done with my interview with Kip here, I'm going to do that. That is going to be my assignment. And I would recommend everybody to tag along as well to write down at least 5 things. We see a lot of
Yeah,
losses. We're losing so much, but
yeah,
write down 5 things that you're grateful for, that you're grateful to have.
yeah, yeah. That's great advice. And you said there's nothing wrong with therapy or talking to someone. And I've been something I tell my kids a lot all the time now is if you're recognizing that you do need to deal with something or speak to someone, the only wrong is not doing anything about that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the wrong thing to do is not do anything about it. And you mentioned whether it's prayer, meditation, both put you in a certain space, and they start your day off that way. And sometimes you don't get to start your day off. Sometimes you're shot out of a cannon. There's nothing you can do about it, but find a time during the day. And sometimes it may just be at the end of the day, to take that time. And that's something that I'm glad that I've started doing. And you're right, it's been shunned for up until the last couple of years, really, um, that men in particular have felt comfortable being able to share and talk about these things.
And come from a place where it is vulnerable, where
Hmm.
we see
Yeah,
you as human, because men have been taught, no, don't cry, suck it up, be
yeah,
a man.
yeah,
But that's toxic masculinity. That results in toxic masculinity. Again, it goes
yeah.
back to the analogy that I just used, which is shaking that soda up. And not only do
Hmm.
men have emotions, but women have emotions, and we snap too. We'll throw,
Yeah,
we'll go crazy, we'll go poster, we will throw things, we will break things. But you can't let your anger get the best of you. It is a poison, so you
yeah,
have to release it. And the best way to release it is talking to someone. Doing Style by Stevie, and I'm going to be completely honest here with Kip. I didn't get a chance to say it with Nelson yesterday, but I'm going to say it here on the platform for everybody new that is watching. Doing Style by Stevie has been a therapeutic release for me. It's like
oh, that's great.
I can take a deep breath, a sigh. And not only
Yeah,
am I sharing bits and pieces of my life, but I'm also getting to know my guests and listen to their stories as well too. So this
yeah,
platform has been a therapeutic outlet for me. And I
that's
just
great.
got to having a conversation with my mother about this as well too. I said, doing this show, this platform is what keeps me sane. It is so
Yeah,
much that is going on, but doing this platform and being able to talk to people and know that there's people in the world who have the same mindset, who agree, who, you're not alone. You're not alone. You may feel sadness, you may feel anger one day, but mental health, it is key. And
yeah.
welcome. Hi. Thank you.
Well, that's Carlos from he owns Silver Strand Ranch up there in Castaic. Awesome.
Yes, welcome as you're coming in. And Itty Bitty Buffy says mindful mindset. Yes,
Yeah.
there's power of manifestation. And I know we all know this. When we put
Hmm.
it out there, and I was talking to Nelson about this as well too. I told him that I was manifesting a series for him, and he was like, "I receive it." So when you put it out there in the universe, my girlfriend, shout outs to my girlfriend Felicia. Yes, I'm calling you out, sis. I'm calling you out, girl. We were texting just last week, and she texted me. She was like, "Girl, guess what I'm doing?" I said, "What you doing, girl?" She is doing her vision board. I do vision boards. So I
Okay.
suggest everybody get into the mindset of, oh, this year's been kind of crappy, but focus on the future and what you can do to be better and grateful. So I started my vision board back in 2024. And I'm looking across the room. Let me scoot on over here for a little bit. And one of the words that I put on my board was Vogue. I love fashion. So it's like
Yeah.
everything that I see in the fashion world is coming to fruition. My friend Dante just week, I don't know if you guys missed it, and I had no idea he was going to do it. He wrote a whole song and dedicated it to me and put the
Oh,
name
wow.
of my show title in it. And I was just shocked. I'm like, when I seen the cover work, because he did it with AI and everything, I'm like, who's this woman in the picture? And I had to put two and two together. I'm like, oh, you wrote a song about me. So, but he was
That's
like,
awesome.
this is for you. And it was
Yeah.
amazing. Another one of the words that I put on my board is focus. I remained focused. My goal
Yeah.
back in 2024 was to do at least 800 interviews. Right now, currently, Kip, your interview is 822. And it's because I
Wow.
did not give up. So, my
Well
advice to
done.
anybody is if you have a vision or a goal or your purpose, focus on it.
Yeah.
Find key
Yeah.
things that you want to work on, and that's also mindful to your mental health. For me in my
Yeah.
downtime, and I know it might seem kind of cheesy and kiddie, but I love to do puzzles. I love to do puzzles and
Hmm.
the connect the dots, and they have adult coloring books where you can color the
Yeah. Yeah.
butterflies, and that is therapeutic for me as well too. I'm a fashion girl. My escape is fashion. Retail therapy can be costly, but if you find it at a good rate, if you're shopping on a budget, if you catch a sale, like Kip just said for Father's Day, watch a movie, go and spend
Hmm.
time with your family. These are things that make you feel good about yourself. And I know
Yeah.
my mom,
Exactly.
she's been going through a rough period of time. I try to make sure that I'm being the sunshine and the light of optimism that she needs. And for everybody else in the world as well too, I want to continue to keep providing joy to you and being a sunshine and a light in your life because Lord knows we need a light. And for anybody who's going through a
Yeah.
dark cloud or a dark period, it may seem like one day you're depressed and this dark cloud is hanging over you. But I'm telling you, you're going to get through it. It may seem like a test. And then you said, Denzel, the first thing that came to my mind, because my mother listens to his speeches
Mm.
repetitiously. She will go back and she will listen to his
It's
speeches,
great.
and it's not
Yeah.
really him speaking. It will be like these beautiful images, like a slideshow. It'll go
Sure. Sure.
through like the ocean, the mountains, but his words resonate with you in
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
sort of way. They touch home to you and they resonate with you. So everything he's saying is spot on, which is about being intentional. One of the things I remember him saying in one of the speeches he was giving was about being intentional. And I think a lot of us, we have to be intentional. We have to
Yeah.
also make sure that we are laying out the groundwork so that the next person that is coming behind us can remain focused and intact as
Yes.
well too. It'll all align together. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so easy just to kind of, put yourself on autopilot. You know what you got to do the next day. You get up, you do your thing, your morning routine. You just keep on going. You do your thing. You go to bed. You get up the next day and do it again. Um, and we all have to have some degree of routine, but that also it's easy to fall into that trap of just going on autopilot, so like you just said, you have to be intentional, you have to be mindful, and you have to take that time to do those things. And another thing I like doing is, going out and just taking a walk, whether that's, hey, I'm just going to walk around the block for a second, or I'm going to go take an hour long nighttime walk. It just something like that. It's so freeing because you're not attached to that phone. You're not making calls. You're not doing it. You're just walking. You're talking if you have someone with you. You're just
Oh
observing,
yeah,
just taking it in. And
absolutely.
I've added those as well. And again, and it's work. It's work to do these things. Because it's not in everyone's nature just to take that time in the morning, take that time at night, take that walk. Um, Journal, write things down, or do a vision board or anything like that. It's not something that we're taught from day one. So you have to work at it, and you have to daily. You have to work at it daily. It's not just a one-time thing. It's a fix. It has to be part of your life forever, really.
Absolutely. And Itty Bitty Buffy, she says that it is participation is the goal. I love hearing this
Yeah,
positively. Absolutely. And shout outs
yeah,
to my
yeah.
colleague Bubs the God. He was saying something in one of his lives one day, which is um, getting barefoot. I've seen a lot of people walk barefoot in the grass. That's a hobby that people can do and participate in. And it's called grounding, being grounded with the earth. When you said take a walk with
Yeah.
nature, I've seen a lot of people do that. And I can't remember this gentleman's channel. He walks with these custom made his own shoes and everything. And he
Mm.
goes and he walks, takes hikes on the trails on his YouTube channel. I cannot remember his name right off the bat. But this guy also says, be thankful for the little things. So that's the little nugget that I took. He said, be thankful for the
Yeah.
little things that you have. Because in an instant, it can all be gone. When it's our time to go, you know, be appreciative of the things
Yeah.
that you do have. Some people don't have those things. Be thankful for the little blessings that come your way. And that's something
Hmm.
that my grandmother, she's 80 years old and she's still alive and living. And she told me, and she said, you better be thankful. Be thankful, be grateful, because in an instant, in other words, be humble. That's what she was telling me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
remain true to who you are, because more and more is coming to you. And I receive everything that is coming to me. Like
I
every
love
day has
that.
been great opportunity. I must say that my life has been sublime and I'm happy. I'm
That's
in
great.
a place and in a space where I'm comfortable. I was
Yeah.
just texting one of my friends today, one of my colleagues, another actor that I interviewed, and we were saying, this is the year. And I texted him and I told him, I said, 822 shows. Today makes 822. So I said, we are still going to go. I'm going to still keep going. And that he was on set at the time working on a project. So I said, we are living our purpose. We are living our purpose and we are working toward being greater and more greater things coming toward us. So
Yeah.
definitely.
There's forgive me, I'm forgetting the name of the docu-series, but there's a docu-series where they talk about blue zones
Mm,
and longevity, and in these blue zones where people, typically live to be 100 and over, much, much longer than the life expectancy of the rest of the world. And they were studying these different ones, and one in particular, more than one, but one in particular, they were talking about all of these people who, are 100 plus and thriving. It's not like they're feeble and just hanging on. Um, each one of them talked about purpose and their purpose in the community, their purpose in their daily lives, in their family. And they get up every day with a purpose, and they work at that purpose, and they accomplish that purpose. And they really were doing a deep dive into what that does for your mindset, for you physically, mentally, and for longevity purposes. So that's something too that was very eye opening, about just living a long and healthy and prosperous life, an enjoyable life.
yes. And with the heat, because I was telling them as I was
Mm,
opening the show, I said, this heat wave is here. Make sure that you're drinking lots of water. But this is
yeah.
also the best time to go and explore nature as well. Explore
Yes.
nature. As Kip just said, take a walk, be one with nature. It's beautiful and it's therapeutic. We have a
Yeah.
place down here in my part of South Carolina called the Healing Springs. And it's like the water just flows, and a lot of people collect that water. I don't know. I think the water has some sort of healing powers or something, and people would go and get this water and put it in jugs and take it back with
Mm,
them, and they would just look at it, and it's a little garden right there. It's very therapeutic. So find the
wow.
most inadequate, beautiful, well, not inadequate, but the most immaculate, that's the word I was looking for,
There you go.
the
Yeah.
most immaculate things that make you feel happy and make you feel joyful. For me, I said it's fashion, but not only just fashion, there's color in nature. And from nature, you pull inspiration, and you can write a
Yeah.
film about it. You can do a documentary. There's so many things out here where you can pull inspiration from. I also love
Yeah.
antique stores, vintage stores. And I
Mm,
love going back and looking at the furniture pieces like, okay, what time period was this? What time period was this? And it's an actor. And I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the film Mean Girls. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
mm,
Rajiv Surrender is his name. And he collects antiques and he goes through different time periods. Like, okay, he collects these bowls. He loves tea, tea saucers and the cups as well too. He collects
mm-hmm.
those. And he was going through saying, hey, this is this and this is this, and these are the things in life that we need to cherish and hold on to. So definitely go and check his channel out. If you want to talk about mindful
Awesome.
living and just being at peace and at ease, he covers
Yeah.
that. And of course, he knows how to do the fancy handwriting. I cannot remember what it is called, but he does this beautiful.
Calligraphy.
That's it,
Calligraphy.
calligraphy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Beautiful cursive writing. He was on Drew Barrymore's show and he got
Oh
the
wow.
chalkboard and wrote her name, does invitations. It's all of these things. He covers all of that on his channel. And
Oh,
he
very
talks
cool.
about his culture, his heritage. But when he goes to the antique store, if you're really into the antiquing and vintage furniture and things, he is really into that. He really goes in details and you can, it's therapeutic just going through looking at it like, wow,
Yeah.
what time period is this? It's like going to a museum, but you
Yeah.
find so many things. Find your safe space, find your haven, and find what brings you peace. And it's the little
Yeah.
things like that as well too. Gardening. My mom has a green thumb. I do not. I do not. All I will do is help her pick out the seeds to buy that she wants to buy, and she will find these beautiful, exotic looking plants and she will replant them and make them grow. She found these beautiful orange, about the color of the dress that I'm wearing today, tulips us alongside of the road, and she was like, "Oh, I got to have them. I got to get these flowers." And she wasn't able to get them, but she got them and she's planted them and they are growing. So find something that works
Yeah.
for you. Find an outlet. And I
Right.
must say, as it pertains to mental health, we all must find an outlet that works for each and every one of us. And I'm encouraging each and everybody to do that.
Uh, Definitely, and to kind of piggyback on that, it's a lot of people who recognize they need that, then will spin their wheels looking like almost like they're going to just walk around and try to and find that thing that's going to put them in that safe space and then that mindset and give them that healing and that calmness. But it doesn't exactly work that way. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to do that and that's going to solve it because everybody's different. But the advice I would give is it's almost like trying to find the perfect job. You're gonna walk into one place and that's gonna be kind of a fit, but not really. You're gonna walk in this place, it's gonna be terrible. This one looks good, but it's not. And once you find out, but it's just being aware of what you gravitate towards
Oh,
just in
yes.
daily life.
Lord.
And I'm not talking about sitting on the couch and watching a movie. Everybody just wants to sit and relax. I'm
Watching your
talking
life
about like,
pass by. Exactly.
yeah, there you go, but it's just being aware of something that interests you, something that like makes you take a second look when you're in the store, like, oh, I really like this. What is this? And whatever that thing may be aware of that. Be aware of what you're feeling when you see that thing, when you experience that thing, when you're in this place, and then lean into that. That
Mm,
might be the thing that you need. That might be the hobby that you need. That might be the place that you need to be. Because it's kind of like when you're looking for that special someone in your life. You're not just going to, everybody's like, oh, I can't find, I'm looking for this, looking for that. Well, that's because you are looking. If you take that out of the equation and just gravitate towards what you feel and the emotions you're feeling when you're around that person, that place, that thing, um, then that's what you need to lean into because that's probably a path you need to go down.
absolutely. And a lot of people are looking for love. And some sort of aspect
Yeah,
in some sort of way they're looking to fill that empty void, and it's just like
yeah,
let love come to you, and it can come to you and hit you in the least most unexpected ways. You could be out here in a store somewhere and you could run into somebody. It doesn't matter, sitting in a park reading your book, doing whatever you're doing, and the
hmm
person comes up alongside you or and joins you. So I mean, it's unexpected and life has unexpected turns, but the key thing is to keep writing. We all have to keep writing what is going to be the next chapter in our life and in our phase. And for
yeah,
each and every one of us, there is something greater coming. And I wouldn't sell you a dream, sell you a pipe dream. I want all of you to remember that. Where it might seem like dark days, for each and every one of us, there is something beautiful, bright coming. And I tell people
yeah,
this: a phoenix rises from the ashes. In the midst of chaos, in the midst of your life, you feel like everything is crumbling down. A phoenix will rise from the ashes,
yeah,
and it shall rise, and it will spread its wings, and soar, and it's going to take off, and you're going to be like, wow, this is absolutely beautiful. So that would be my encouragement to
Love
each and
that.
every one of us, to anybody who's going through a dark period, a dark
Hmm.
time where it's like, okay, my mental health, I feel overwhelmed, I feel exhausted, I feel all of these different emotions. That's perfectly normal. You want to know why? Because you are human, and we all have emotions at the end of the day. And I think it is important and imperative that we continue to keep speaking on how we feel. Talk to someone. The resources are there. Therapists are there for us. There's
Yeah.
family members. There's loved ones. You have, if you have close friends, friends that you are really, really close to. And I know for me, I have my tribe. Shout outs to my colleagues, Alvin. Shout outs to my colleagues, Bubs the God, Conscious TV, Harold. Shout outs to Spicy, Bossman. Shout outs to Keon. Shout outs to so many. Nelson, who I had on the show yesterday. And it's amazing to have that tribe of people behind you,
Yeah.
backing you, checking you. Shout outs to my brother K Tukes, who always shows me nothing but love and support. Like he will call and pick up at the drop of a dime, like, hey sis, you okay? How's everything on your end? We see
It's
you're
great.
not going live today. We see you're not doing a show, because they will know if I'm not live, something is wrong or something happened. It's just like, no, no, no. I had a cancellation. My interview didn't work. We had to reschedule, but I will be back that next day. And I
Yeah.
come right back. So we have that understanding, and that's what it's about, having the understanding with your friends, your loved ones, the
Yeah.
ones who
Yeah.
are close deeply to you in your heart, who won't make sure that you're overwhelmed, who will always check to make sure that you're good. Like, okay, you okay? I've had to reach out to colleagues as well too. I think, Kip, I think it is the mother bear in me. I think my mother has rubbed off on me deeply, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've got it growing up as well too, and you see it as you are a dad, as you are a father. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm doing the same thing that my mother or my father did for me. For me, I'm seeing the roles reversed now. I see what my mother is saying now. It's time for you to have
Yeah.
responsibilities. And my brother is
Right.
definitely feeling it, because, like I said, I have a 2-year-old nephew. And my brother, because my mother always had to talk with all of us, because I have 4 brothers and I have 2 sisters. And one of my sisters, her birthday rolls around June 29th. We'll be honoring her, and I'm super excited for that. We'll be doing something special for her. But I remember my mom telling us, it's going to be different with you when you have your family. You will see. I don't have kids, but I know what it's like to have big responsibilities, to have
Hmm.
to step up to the plate. And now for me,
Yeah.
full time, it's been having to step up to the plate, make sure that my mom is straight, make sure that my family's good. I do what I do for her to make sure that she has and does not ever have to go without, because my mother has sacrificed so much for me. But the point that I was trying to make was, we are our parents' children. That mother
Yeah.
bear protective instinct, because it's just like a mother bear protecting her bear cubs. I go into protective mode 24/7. Like, you okay? You good? Who I got to fight? Who I got to take my earrings off for?
Right. Right.
Who do I have to go after? Um,
Yeah.
Alvin will tell you that is how I am with all of my friends, especially if I genuinely, truly care for them. And those are the type of people that you have to have within your circle, who will bat for you, who will make sure that you're good, your mental health as well. I will text friends, I will reach out to them, or they will text me. Unexpectedly, out of nowhere, I'm sitting here, I'm either eating or preparing for one of my interviews or writing down some notes, and they will text me out of the blue. You good? How you doing? You need anything?
Hmm.
When my sister passed, that's what it was. And those are the type of people that you have to keep in your life. The ones
Yes.
who are there, who wouldn't ask for anything. They would just check to see how you are doing. How's your family? And I get it a lot. K Tukes will text me and ask, how's mom doing? And I'll ask him the same, because his mom is like my mom also, and they know each other. So it's like,
Yeah.
when we met, it was magic. When we first met, it was
That's
magic. A lot of
awesome.
people thought it was rivalry, but it's just like, no, we both do the same thing, but we do it differently. We do it
Yeah.
differently.
Having that
Uh,
tribe and that community is
yeah.
amazing. And it's saying, going back to what we were talking about before. It's a lot of people know that they need that, but
Mm,
then they go searching for it, and you're just going to keep banging your head against the wall. And there's a great affirmation that I heard not too long ago, and it basically goes, "What is yours will find you." So whether that is love, whether that's community, whether that's your tribe or whatever, the place you need to be physically, um, a pet, all of those things. What is yours will find you, meaning that what is supposed to be in your life, what's supposed to work out, if you are receptive and open to it, will happen. It may not happen tomorrow, but it will eventually.
And it will all align perfectly well. It will all
Hmm.
align perfectly well. And it goes back to say, if anybody spiritual believes, what's what the universe or God puts out there for you is for you. And I knew
Yeah.
that this was my calling. So everybody has a calling. You have a purpose. If you want to start that business, you want to start a restaurant business, that's an example. Go ahead and start it. Talk to people, network amongst yourself. The opportunity is now.
Yeah.
NOW.
Yeah.
Now. Now is the
100%.
opportunity to live in your prime in your life. I want everybody to enjoy their prime, enjoy the best. Make sure that you are fulfilling every goal you want to complete. And a lot of us, even if for us as grown-ups, children, they say, hey, we ask them when they're going to school or whatever, what is going to be your short-term goal and what is going to be your long-term goal? For us as adults, we have bucket lists of things that we want to do that we haven't done yet in our life or haven't experienced, but in some
Hmm.
sort of way, we will try to do like a mental check mark. Okay, I've done this, now what's next? We always have to
Yeah.
go back to the drawing board and regroup on what we want to do next in our lives and to fulfill that chapter. So I say for anybody, go for your passions. And I tell you this all the time at the end of the show. Go for what sets your soul on fire. And if it is deep down in your soul and it's something you just got to express and get out there, write about it, dream about it.
Yeah.
They think dreaming is for kids. No, you can be an adult and still have dreams that you want to
100%.
accomplish. I'm
Yeah.
31 years old and I started Style by Stevie. We've been doing this platform for about 7 years now. This makes 7 years.
Awesome. Wow.
And
That's great. Congrats.
you know what? I started right after high school. No experience, no training, anything. I had to come in from colleagues teaching me about the business and the industry and how to host a platform, how to do a lineup, how to do a backdrop. All of these things I've had to learn from peers and colleagues who are in the business. And then I
Mm.
just sort of took it from there. And then it just took off. So we are now at interview 822,
It's
and the
amazing.
platform is growing each and every day. Eyes are watching, not
Yeah.
just me, but other platforms as well too. So I love that people have variety. We are in a
Love
time
it.
where people now have variety of what they want to watch, what they want to take in, and it's a blessing for me that people, out of all the variety, people chose me. They come to watch me to get advice or share their stories, bits and pieces, because I try to
Yeah.
make it as intimate as possible. I want you to have the
Mm.
experience that you're talking to an old friend, that you
Yeah.
are also getting life's tips and goals on how to go forward and what you can do to succeed and excel all expectations and take away from that.
Yeah. And you absolutely have nailed that. You've done a great job with that. That's awesome. Congrats.
The same
Congrats.
for you.
Congrats.
Thank you. And you have some projects coming up as well too. Yes, that's mom. All right. See?
There you go.
All right. Love you. That's mom. That's what I was saying.
That's
She said,
awesome.
don't let me. Did y'all heard it? You with your 2 ears. See what I'm saying? She's a Libra. That is
That's
exactly
awesome.
the
Yeah.
mindset. That's how my mother raised me. And I don't like to see people down in no way, shape, form, or fashion. She's the same exact way.
That's
Mothers
great.
know everything. You because they're women. Women, we have an intuition. So mothers know everything. If you got in trouble in school, if you got in trouble with anything, mothers know.
Yeah. They know what's
Kip,
up.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you can attest to it. You've called your
Yeah.
mom and you've had
Yeah.
conversations with her. And my mother will say, she will ask me. I don't even have to say a word. One day she said, something bothering you, isn't it? I said, yeah, a few things, I feel a little down. I feel a little sad. She just like what she just told me now. Don't let nothing bother you. Don't let nothing get under your skin, and don't let anybody get to you or try to break you. Earlier, she told me that. She said that's what he wants. He'll try to break you. You know, evil, dark entities, the demons, they will try to break you. And that's what my mother was telling me. So y'all heard it with your own two ears.
Yeah,
You heard what
yeah.
she said. Don't let nothing bother you. I'm
In
going to
real
take care of
time. Yeah,
y'all see. She's a Libra
yeah.
October 7th. I'm a Scorpio October 31st. And my brother is a February baby. So his is on the 28th of February. But
Okay.
we all have my mother has raised us each to have our own personality. So that is one thing I can give my parents credit for. My father was a Marine vet. I've learned discipline and structure. So that's why I come up on time. Sometimes I'm a few minutes late, but I let my guests know. But I've learned punctuality and discipline from him. My
Sure.
mother
Yeah.
just taught me how to be a nurturer, how to be a protector in a way.
Sure.
And when I see people without a voice, I speak up for them and I encourage them. I love to see people happy. I don't like to see people down. So when
Yeah.
I see someone down, I will reach out to them and ask, like, what's wrong? Or if I found out that someone close to them passed and they tell me I'm in the clouds, I didn't even know, I didn't even want to ask because I feel as though it's rude to ask somebody, like, how they passed or what happened. No, let them tell you on their own time. Let them tell you
Right.
that I had a loss or, you know, been there. And then you offer, is there anything I can do? So that's what I do. That's how I do it. Is there anything you want me to bring? Anything you need? I'm only one phone call or text or DM away. And that's how I
Oh,
do
that's awesome.
it.
That's the way to do it. Yeah. I wish the world had more of you.
Yeah. We need it. We need it. And I
Yeah.
was just telling one of my guests Monday, Mark Angel, he was just like, will you stop giving me the icon? I said, I want to give you your flowers while you're here. I want to give you your flowers. And the audience second that. One of the audience viewers said, you better take those flowers. When somebody gives you your flowers, you take them. You take them
Yeah.
because life is so short. Um, we just lost Chef Anne Burrell,
Hmm.
and it
Hmm.
just goes to show you that life can be taken from you from an instant.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anything, we could go to sleep at night and not even wake up. So be thankful. Like I said,
Yeah.
the
Live in
gentleman
the
who has
moment.
the YouTube
Yeah.
channel. Be thankful for the moment and seize the moment. And speaking of seizing the moment, let me shift because these were kind of heavy topics. We talked about mental health and unpacking
Yeah.
and being vulnerable
Important
for a lot.
important topics, but yeah, heavy.
Yes. You have some projects coming up, and
Hmm.
there are all three of them are in post production. So
Hmm.
what
Well,
can we? Yeah.
I was going to say today I actually have a film I produce and I have a small role in, very small role, that I produced last year. Josh Duhamel, Greg Kinnear are the stars in it. That comes out today, just came out today. It is in select theaters across the country. I know we have a couple theaters here in LA that has it. And there are some others. I don't have a list of where it is in the theaters, but it's also on demand and digital today as well. It's called Off the Grid. Um, Really fun action thriller. Again, if you Josh Duhamel's great in it. Greg Kinnear is he plays the bad guy, which he doesn't usually. And had a great time shooting that in Mississippi last year, and then did another film right after that with Josh again, called The Neglected, and I have the larger role in that one. Also produced it, and that one's in post production. And then the film that I believe we talked about it last time a little bit, our kind of reimagining alt reality retelling of the Peter Pan story, and
Yes. Look.
that's Before Never, yeah, Before Never, and it is we are delivering it now to the distributor. We signed with a distribution company, and we are almost finished delivery. And delivery, any of you filmmakers out there know that it is not fun. It takes a long time. There's a lot involved, but we are almost finished with
Oh,
delivery, and we will hope to get a release date within the next probably month or so, and then I'll start posting about the release date. But if I had to guess, I'd say fall, maybe winter is when it'll be out. But really happy with that film.
and it's a lot more to come that you're going to get that release date. Again, as I told Nelson
Yeah,
yesterday, manifestation is coming.
yeah,
It
yeah.
will happen if you put it out there. So you're going to get that release date sooner or never. There's so many actors who go to auditions and it's like, I'm not sure if I got the role. What do I do? Like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't think I'm going to get a call back. I don't think I did so well. Don't doubt yourself or block yourself in. Trust
Hmm.
me, I've done that my entire life. And my mom was like, will you stop? Friends have told me that. Will you stop? K Tukes has even tapped me on my shoulder once or twice and be like, okay, sis, you're tripping. Stop. You're imagining the worst before it even happens. You won't know unless you just wait patiently. So it's going to come. It's
Yeah,
all aligning.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate it, and I'll like I said, once we get a release date on that, I'll post it, and everybody can share it. And but otherwise, until then, watch Off the Grid. Check out Off the
With
Grid
Josh
today, and
Duhamel,
Josh
yes.
Duhamel, Greg Kinnear, and yeah, yeah, it's a really really fun ride.
For all of my action film lovers out there, because my father likes action films, my brother loves action films, and his wife as well too. They like action films. Me, I'm a rom-com girl. So if you ask me about Breakfast
Right,
at Tiffany's or The Notebook, I will definitely know.
right.
But I'm getting more and more into horror and action. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you can't just tap into one arena. There's so many film genres out here, like mystery, thriller. I love that as well too. I love
Hmm.
suspense. I
Oh
love to
yeah.
be on the edge of my seats. And I was telling Nelson and my guests this throughout the week as well. Important that you explore different genres of films. Check out what you like because everybody's different.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Everybody's got their thing, and the great thing about Off the Grid too is there is a love story in there, so that gives a little something for our not so much rom-com, but there is a love story in there.
All right, there we go, fashion dolls. So I hope you all took something away from this great conversation today. And again, for anybody who might seem like they're going through a dark period, a dark cloud, Kip, before we close out, what gems would you give to anybody? Because it's always great. You are a breath of fresh air to talk to. And I
Thank you.
think that we need this in these times. Everybody needs reassurance. We need, uh, for anybody who's feeling hopeless about themselves, you're down, you don't know what to do from the next part of your life, the next phase of your life, the next chapter. I tell people this all the time. You are the author, you are the editor of your life.
Yeah,
Nobody can tell your story better than you. So you have the pen. It's up to you to finish how you write that closing chapter to
right,
end the chapter of your life. So, what advice
right.
would you give to people in these times where it feels like, okay, we're feeling all of these different emotions,
Yeah,
hopelessness, we feel anger, we feel despair, we feel sadness.
you know
You
the
could have
the
lost somebody, anything could have happened.
yeah. I mean, the last thing I would add in there is another wonderful saying, and it's a very old saying, and I know it's been repeated by so many people, but it's really hard to live by, is, remembering that this too shall pass. No matter
Mm,
what that situation is, there could seem to be, never going to be a light at the tunnel, no hope. But this too shall pass. But you also have to work at it. It goes back to what we were saying earlier. You have to actively work at it. And that starts by just working on yourself. If you get yourself okay first, and yourself, loving yourself, which is difficult to do sometimes for a lot of people. You're down on yourself, your circumstances around you cause you to, to beat yourself up a bit. But it starts with loving yourself, working on yourself, taking those times for yourself to get your head clear, shut out all that, negative noise, so to speak, and remembering that whatever is happening in your life, as difficult as it may be, or in the world, this too shall pass. And just keeping that affirmation in your head all the time would be my recommendation. And it's difficult to do sometimes, but if you can at least keep a sliver of that, there's always going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always going to be hope.
absolutely. And to add on to what Kip just said, today's final thought comes from one of my favorite singers, Demi Lovato. She says this: the advice I'd give to somebody that's silently struggling is you don't have to live that way. You don't have to struggle in silence. You can be unsilenced. So words unspoken won't get spoken unless you speak them. And I want
Right.
you all to remember that. Speak up, use your voices, tell people how you feel. Like you just heard what my mother said. Yes, this will be
Hmm.
posted to the channel. Y'all heard it. Um, she said, don't let nobody get you down. And I want y'all to remember that. Don't let nobody steal your joy. The reason why I come on happy every single day, and they're just like, why are you always happy? Why are you always laughing? But there are days when I feel emotional, where I feel vulnerable in a
Sure.
space where I feel neglected sometimes. But it's just like you have people around you that care for you. And Kip said something that I have been saying as well too, which is that village, that tribe is important to you. So make sure that you are surrounded by people who uplift you. That's one of my affirmations in the morning, and I stand firm on that. Is make sure that you surround yourself with people who uplift you, with people who make you feel good about yourself, people who will give you that tap on the shoulder, like, okay, wheel it in. Or as we would say, what? Our accountability partners. So I
Yeah.
want y'all to
Yeah.
remember that as well, too. So again, you can be unsilent, as Demi Lovato just said in this quote. And I want you
There you
all
go.
to go about having a fabulous weekend. Go to a concert, maybe a certain performer. She is the most Grammy award winning female artist in history. Go see Beyonce. Go do something fun with your life. Live life to the fullest. Go see
Yeah.
a movie. Go see uh, Kip's film. Go see his
Yes.
film.
Go see Off
Go
the
and check
Grid.
it out. Definitely. Make sure you go on out here and supporting. Oxygen mask on yourself first. Absolutely. Deep
Hmm.
breaths. Deep breaths. Take deep
Yeah.
breaths every day. Make sure that you are regrouping and spending time with yourself, being gentle to yourself because you need it. The film is titled Off the Grid. Make sure you guys
Hmm.
go and check it out. It is out right now and it features
Yep.
Josh DeMille and Greg. So make sure you guys go and
There
check
you
that
go.
out, Fashion Dolls.
Thank you.
And Kip, always a pleasure. Let everyone know where they can follow you and check you out.
Yeah, it's just my name, Kip Tribble. That's two P's and two B's. That's on Instagram, X, and Facebook as well. Those are the easiest places to find me. Just search Kip Tribble, and I guarantee I'm the only one that's going to pop up.
There you go, Fashion Dolls. Joining me Monday, closing out the month of June. We have Augustus Goley joining me on the show. So make sure y'all tune in and vote for your favorite look of the week. I gave y'all 5 different women. Yesterday I had curly hair. Today is in a different. Just make sure you go vote. They're in the stories as well too. 5 different looks. So it's gonna be a tough choice this week. And let me know. You might get a repeat. So make sure you guys are staying tuned. This interview will be uploaded to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube. So make sure you head on over, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll be notified when new shows are posted. And again, the film is Off the Grid. Make sure you guys go and check it out on all streaming platforms right now. I love you all. Be safe and be gentle to yourself, dear friends. Until next time, Fashion Dolls, we will see you Monday. Take care.